Extreme Anime Radio.
We finally made it to the end of 2023 here on XAR, on Twitch, and all the various places we've been all over this year. This is the final podcast of the year. Thank you so much for joining us. I am JR, and celebrating the new year, as I can show you by scrolling over his screen a little bit. Happy New Year soon, Mr. Neff Canuck.
Good evening, sir. Yes, I am glad to see 2023 kicked to the curb. Not only would I like it kicked to the curb, I'd like it thrown in a garbage can, the garbage can sealed, thrown over Niagara Falls, and with some explosive behind it.
Oh, boy. Well, then you should have done that a few months ago when we went.
Well, no. That was fun, more or less. but it's more like, I just want this year to disappear. Just goodbye.
Yeah.
Go away.
Well, yeah, I think in more ways than one we could talk about that. And yes, we thank you for joining us here tonight, December 28th, 2023. We decided today that we were going to do the podcast tonight because, well, my work schedule is a little bit wonky these next few days. And since I knew that I was going to make it back here on time to potentially do a show, well, here we are for tonight, and we're sorry for those who are being interrupted by the Browns and the Jets, I believe, are playing tonight. Although the way the game's going tonight, maybe we are a nice little side project, if you will. Nyuk, nyuk, nyuk.
Or you could just use us for background noise. Nyuk, nyuk, nyuk.
All right. We want to welcome everybody in the chat room. Hello, Liz. Liz is listening in tonight. She's spending points at an auction. So I wonder if that's something we maybe have to do down the road for people who have, like, 100,000 coins with us.
You don't want to know how many coins I have, boss.
Is it over 100,000, I'm guessing?
Yep.
Oh, boy, yeah.
By quite a bit, actually.
Liz has 220,000. Well,
okay, I'm not that bad yet.
Well, you can spend some of your coins and see if you win that pillow. You could try that. Anybody who has a lot of those coins who wants to try to roll for the pillow, do the coin flip redemption. You have multiple chances to use it per stream. And it resets like every 3 to 5 minutes or something like that. Yeah, here we go, Neff. Flip a coin, that's what you get. And you get Umemi. Ah.
All right.
Yes, I forget that on the podcast, the coin appears right in between us.
Well, I mean, it's actually perfectly placed for that purpose.
Yes. So, we thank everybody, and now is a good time for me to say right off the bat how much I appreciate everybody's love and support for what we do over the last year, be it doing podcasts like this or working our way through law mysteries, law adventures, simming and doing all sorts of weird things, or doing Jackbox or Mad Libs. It's a labor of love for all of us, and especially these last few months, we try to find the time to get together to do these things, and we really can't do it without your support. So thank you so much. Thank you, Neff, who's been my podcast companion through the beginning, through these last 8 seasons / 4 years of the podcast. And of course, even before that, doing the radio station itself. The end of season 8 and the end of 2023, sir.
Yes, well, once again, I have to thank you because, hey, this is a great outlet for, my creative little mind. You can stop snickering now. And it also, was something to look forward to while I was rehabilitating from my latest, misadventure. It was like, okay, I'm, stuck in a rehab center. I can't do anything. This was driving me crazy. I want to do a podcast so bad right now.
And it all worked out, especially for tonight. This is the only show, if you're watching us live, this is the only stream we're going to be doing tonight because given that, again, my work schedule for the rest of this week is a little uncertain. There are some nights where I might be working late. Tonight, when we're done, is when I'm going to start assembling the podcast for distribution. Hopefully by tomorrow night, it goes out and everything. So hopefully when 2024 comes around, we'll be able to schedule some more streams. As I mentioned when we played Ace Attorney last night, really looking forward to the re-release of Apollo Justice, which will, I'm sure, bring some nuances and some funny moments like we have in Phoenix Wright.
Well, let's just say, as someone who works in the law field, Phoenix Wright, Apollo Justice, the whole kit and caboodle, sometimes it just breaks my brain. And just like, hello, witness tampering, evidence theft, and that's just for starters. But it tells a fun story. I will say that, despite all of these stuff that would, like, don't do that.
Yeah. And maybe we have a Steam sale for a few more days. I could pick up some more items. Although lately, to be honest, my all my spending online and games is going towards Flight Simulator add-ons. I'm happy with the news today that they released another classic airliner, which I will probably plunk down money for. And that is a plane that maybe you have flown, Neff, way, way long ago. The A300-600.
That is not an Airbus plane I've ever been on, I don't believe.
Okay.
I mean, that does go back quite a ways, however, It's like, ooh, dear.
So
back when you had the special plugs for the headphones and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, kind of like this, right? What I'm wearing right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, and don't forget, it was the one screen. You all got to see the one movie, whether you wanted to or not.
Yeah.
And sometimes the choices were like, no, I'd rather go to sleep. Thank you very much. Yeah, exactly. There we go.
But they were stethoscopes. Almost.
Yeah, actually, those ones were. And it was like, I always wondered, they came in a sealed plastic bag, but I always wondered, because they collected them at the end of the flight, right? What kind of sanitization did they do?
I don't know if they did, actually. Yeah, but I see your point. I've flown the A310. That was one of the streams we did before. And now the people who made this designed this plane on their own without Microsoft. So that means it's going to be 10 times as better as the A310. And this is in real life a plane that flew, made the first flight the year I was born. So I said the A310 was, I think, April 1982 when they made the first flight. So I think a few months after that is when the A300 made its first flight. The interior looks the same, but it's supposed to act a heck of a lot better. And pretty interesting thing about the A300 is that it's still flown today by American freight airlines. So UPS, FedEx, and I'm sure DHL in Europe, they still are flying plenty of A300s. So this kind of like 30 to 40-year-old technology, but they were making A300s up until 2007. That was when the last A300 went to FedEx.
Well, I mean, if a plane is found useful for a particular purpose, they'll tend to want to stick to it because it takes down maintenance costs and part procurement costs,
Oh yeah.
etc. But ultimately, that plane obviously was not a commercial success in terms of carrying passengers.
Right.
Probably because, as I recall, that was around the generation where they started to shrink the economy class seats down
Yeah.
to pretty much perches.
Yeah.
You had to be like either a very very small person or very very willing to put up with pain for several hours.
Right.
Yikes.
I think the A300, the configuration that they model inside when you go in and check the interior of the plane in the sim, the economy is set 8 across, so 2 on each side of the plane and then 4 in the middle.
Ooh, oh yeah, that would not be fun in those especially in that middle row.
Yeah. I mean, if you were
Because you
traveling with another passenger or your girlfriend or your spouse or your friend or something like that, then that's one thing. But I see, yeah,
Yeah, because normally, of course, with airline roulette as it is, you'd probably end up being the two in the middle two seats of the four configuration, and then having to get in and out all the time. Oh, that would just not be fun.
yeah. But no, the reason I bring up sales and whatnot is a little gripe that I wanted to. This is going to be my gripe for the night, and in these podcasts, Neff has the most gripes. So I'm going to take my turn and talk a little bit about something that actually, Neff, you and I think, spoke about off the air yesterday, either before or after Ace Attorney. And I was also talking about it with Bree and with Liz and with Karam, whom, by the way, I also want to thank. XAR in 2023, not possible without them. I also bring up Mika and Umi. They've been on our show several times. All the guests that we've had over the year. And, of course, people who support us with financial contributions and people who are involved in our mascots as well, artists and cosplayers. Thank you all. But, thank you so much, Liz. But now, the gripe that I have was there was one Steam wish list game right at the top of my wish list that I've been wanting to pick up. It's been full price all this time. And now I could get it if I want for about $20. It is a live action visual novel in the sense of not animated like Steins Gate, full visual novel, right?
Okay.
And that is Centennial. I'm going to pull this up real quick because I forget the name. The Centennial Case Ashijima Story. And it's basically you are going across several different timelines, several different generations, trying to piece together murders that happened within the same family over those different generations.
So basically, Ace Attorney with a time machine.
Right. So that is slay the princess. I wonder what Liz is referring to.
I don't know. Okay, that sounds rather interesting.
I'm kind of lost there, Liz. But anyway, Steam game. Oh. Okay. Oh, she's suggesting a game I should pick up.
Yes, I just Google flew on my small phone. Let's see. Oh dear.
Slay the princess.
The tagline for the game is intriguing enough. You're here to slay the princess. Don't believe her lies. Oh dear.
So Mario, we are not. Is that what you're suggesting?
I suppose that's what I'm suggesting, yes.
All right, but anyway, let's go back to this live action visual novel. So I'm looking up reviews. And people have pretty good reviews, but I'm kind of meticulous going through all these reviews. And so let's see what they said. Beautiful visuals, beautiful storyline. DMCA, copyright strike, copyright strike, copyright strike. I'm like, what? So I go in and yes, apparently, you remember when we played Dragon Quest?
Mm-hmm.
We played a little bit of Dragon Quest, and we had to follow these certain guidelines. We had to put up a copyright on the screen. We had to put a spoiler alert on our stream and everything.
Mm-hmm.
That is from Square Enix. And apparently when this live-action visual novel came out, Square Enix was taking down people who were trying to stream this visual novel in all directions. And there are forum posts and Reddits to back this up. I mean, Reddit you can take with a grain of salt, I guess, more or less, but people are talking about it in the forums, Reddit, and some of the reviews that I read, that apparently at one point, Square Enix didn't want people to stream the game. Why? Because it would spoil people's enjoyment to play it. Okay, so I can understand, like, maybe in an era there was no streaming. But now where streaming is one of the most popular things in computing in general right now, I think a statement like that, I mean, they changed their tune just a little bit, which I'm going to show you here in a moment. But I think singing that tune is a little bit far-fetched nowadays, isn't it?
Well, the problem is with Square Enix, they tend to have very, how can I put this politely? Old-fashioned views about technology and progress. And it tends to, make their decisions very staid, very boring, very much, we don't like technology.
Right.
Where's our 8-track cassette tape, etc.
But yes, apparently a lot of people were complaining about it, and now back in April, apparently Square Enix posted a little update. So I'm going to show you right now. If you're watching on Twitch, I'm going to put it up on the screen, but if you're listening to us, I will try to do as best as I can describing, what I'm going to put up here. So let me do this. Okay, so you go to Square Enix's website. This is Square Enix's own guidelines for streaming this particular game. So, let me see if I can maybe blow this up a little bit. Here, is that a little better? Yeah, I think so. Okay. So, okay. Please receive requests. First of all, I like this sentence right here. These guidelines apply only outside of Japan. If you are located in Japan or have obtained the Japanese version of the game, please check the different guidelines that apply to you. So, right off the bat, the Japanese version of the game, those guidelines may not be exactly similar, but who knows? The materials consist of the following content from the game: fan kits, gameplay footage, still images, characters, and music from the game until the results screen of the 4th chapter. Text and information from the game until the results screen of the 4th chapter. Blah, 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 blah. It is forbidden to stream or upload gameplay videos of any part of the game after the results screen of the 4th chapter. We ask for your kind cooperation so as many people as possible may enjoy playing the game. So you may post the materials. You must only stream on video sites that have been licensed by Jazzrack. Oh, good old Jazzrack. Please display the following legal lines when posting and streaming. If an image or video is in a game console line, but may be displayed automatically. You may not use material especially described additional guidelines or restrictions. If streaming scenes are the major points in the joint story, please make sure to display a spoiler alert notice. Posting audio tracks as standalone content not permitted, and everything I'm going to just show there on the screen. Isn't this a little too much?
I'm looking at this and I'm going, they're expecting to trap people. I swear, there's no other explanation for this much text. I mean, literally, my brain started to go into work mode. I almost said, verbiage as opposed to just saying text. I'm going, okay, no. This was written by lawyers, and it was written as a stick.
Yeah.
It was not written for the fans to explain why, to explain that, look, we want to do this way because we do this, This was just, no. You must do this. You must do this. You must do this. What? You must do this. You must do this. You must do this. What? I'm like, no, no, that's not how you promote your product. Well,
I like this one. Do not share materials on a site which is limited to viewers 18 years old and older. Well, guess what? I think we put like a little mature warning on all of our Twitch streams by default, so I guess this disqualifies us, doesn't it?
Again, it's like it's designed to trap you. It's not designed to encourage, people to actually share the product and, descriptions, etc. They're just saying, nope, we don't want you to do this. So we're going to make it so onerous, so tough that nobody, is going to do it. Or if they're going to do it, they're just going to go, we don't care, copyright strike us.
Oh, and I love this one. If you fail to follow these guidelines when using the materials, you may be temporarily or permanently suspended from using the game as determined by Square Enix in his sole discretion. So what is there, like DRM now or something?
My guess is it wouldn't surprise me if they wouldn't have, an entire wing of people, watching out for streams with the keywords of the software in it, and just, okay, we see this stream, let's see if they follow the rules. They didn't follow the rules, they get zapped. You laugh, but it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah. Or in our case, it'd just be the Price is Right fail horn. Womp womp.
Wow.
But I remember that Dragon Quest had more limited rules, but this seems to be draconian to me. Maybe they're just trying to veil. There's live action footage. There is music that could be subject to copyright, and they're hiding it under, we don't want you to spoil the enjoyment for others.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I've seen, various media over the years where, it's originally broadcast or published, and then they try to republish it, and then, the original copyright holder's like, no, not unless you pay me more. And the republisher is like, no. The original copyright holder's like, okay, fine, we're not giving you permission. Figure it out yourself.
So, it's something as we do give it a try. Maybe we just have to go and stream it on the Discord.
Oh boy, I'll bring the peg leg.
Oh boy. So another year done, and also another year of anime. Spy Family, the season just ended just like that. Bree and I were watching the other day the latest episode where we have Lloyd or Twilight, if you will, having a little scene with Bond the dog. And it was a very cute episode, but unfortunately, it also ended the second season, and all we have to look forward to is the release of a movie and no word on when the next season's going to come out.
Well, as to another season, it's not really, I don't think there's a real pattern anymore. I mean, it used to be if a show was popular enough, it would definitely get another season immediately, and it would be announced and all the fanfare, etc. Now it's like, huh? They just leave us in limbo, and because of the various issues with various production studios and, animators looking for more pay and the studios not wanting to pay them, and it's just become a bit of a firefight.
Yeah.
So the question is, what happens next? Answer, who knows?
All right. And remember, like 1 or 2 years ago, Spy X Family was the beef. It was the creme de la creme of compared to all the animes that came out. That's the one that everybody was talking about. and you had more episodes in season 1 than you did in the season that just ended. You also have a movie, which I left out, but yeah, it's the only thing we can look forward to is the movie whenever they decide to release it here.
Well, I heard, now I may have misheard this, but I heard they wanted to release it sometime early in 2024, is what I heard over here. So perhaps, it will be early in January, as some have proclaimed, but it's more like, okay, you have to sort of figure some shows, again, and somebody, Bree mentioned in the chat room, Call Me Can't Communicate, My Dress Up Darling. Now, My Dress Up Darling has had a second season confirmed. What they have not confirmed is when. Which could be anything. It could be summer, could be winter, could be next year, 2025. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
And as for Call Me Can't Communicate, I literally throw up my hands and go, oh. I mean, I throw money at you, Netflix. I want you to give it to me. Gimme, gimme, gimme.
Yeah. Let's see. There's no word. But that would be like season 3, right?
Yes, that would be season 3, and that would be second year, and that would be Rumiko.
Right. The character you wanted me to look forward to, right?
Yeah, she's the gal character who shows up with enough makeup to, how can I put this politely? Make the Joker jealous.
Oh.
Yeah, she just yikes.
Right.
But
I mean, it was teased, right? The character was teased at the end of the second season.
Exactly, I think from behind.
Right.
So you didn't actually get the effect of her choice of makeup and putting it on with the Tammy Faye Baker school of makeup.
But yes, I love these clickbait things when you search. Comey Can't Communicate season 3 release date. Click. No release date has been set yet. We want to show you these ads.
Well, that's like all the people who, tried to download what they thought was a GTA 6, demo or something and ended up getting hit with malware and viruses.
Uh-oh.
Again, no, folks, if the original publisher hasn't said a thing about it, it ain't happening yet. You just got to wait.
Yeah. Well, now, like I think I mentioned before, sort of in a little bit of a pickle, or grubby hands, as Bree says, because Spy Family's done. Rurouni Kenshin is done. We're waiting for whenever they decide to release the Kyoto arc, I believe. So.
Well, there are a couple of shows I'm looking forward to. One of which is the velour-wearing fool in the closet approved.
Uh-oh.
At least if the manga's anything to go by. It's called Chain Soldier. And it gives off Chainsaw Man vibes, except crank up the perversion up to about 11. Don't break off the knob, but it's up there.
Oh boy.
I mean, after 6 volumes, I've been reading this going, okay. Yeah, I'm glad it's not on the iPad. I would not leave this book laying around. I would not leave this book laying. No.
Oh, man.
And another series that apparently is going to get an anime, I'm not sure exactly when, but I found it by stumbling across the seas, because there is no legal distribution for this yet. I can't give you the title because, to be honest, I can't remember the title. It's just this long, crazy thing. But the premise is a couple in their 80s is suddenly dragged back through time, and they're like in their 20s again.
Oh, boy.
So it's like literally you got grandpa and grandma, and they have a family and, extended family, etc. And then all of a sudden, they look like they're in their 20s again, and they actually can act like they're in their 20s. Like, it physically can, So it's just like,
wow.
Okay, this is interesting.
I found the title. It's Jisan Basan Wakageru, which is Grandpa and Grandma are rejuvenated and expect to release in Japan in April 2024.
Okay, something to look forward to. Do they mention a distributor in the West yet?
Let's see. It's posted on Crunchyroll's news. So I'm wondering if Crunchyroll picked it up.
Possibly, although they have a habit, I think I've seen it more than once, of announcing things like series coming and then they don't have it. It goes to high dive. So let's see now. You know?
No, Wikipedia. Let's see. Wikipedia does not have a distribution right update, actually.
So we'll have to wait and see, I guess.
But yes, it's been the manga's been serialized, and there are 7 releases, 7 chapters of the Japanese manga.
Any sign of an English distributor?
No. Let's see. No, not on. At least Wikipedia doesn't say anything.
Okay, because that's depressing. Because again, and I'll say this, I found Cheyenne Soldier while sailing the 7 seas, and then immediately bought the legal titles. See, because it's very hard to find. Sometimes you just stumble across these titles, like on Reddit,
right?
And you look and you go, especially when they're in anime no context.
Right.
They're in anime no context. They post like 3 or 4 pages, and you're just going, "What in the cinnamon fried bleep? Let me see what this is. It can't be this bad. It can't be this crazy. Sometimes it is this crazy. Sometimes it is not."
Yes, it's been released. Let's see. In Japan, it's released twice a year since 2020. This year, it's only been released once. So we have 7 manga volumes, and the 8th one will be the last. That's really all the information we have about it.
Well, let's see. 8 volumes. That's probably well, I'm gonna guess it's probably only gonna be about 13 episodes. I don't think they're gonna do more.
Yeah.
But that's the new normal now, unless the series is very long running, or they have enough material, or they think they're going to have enough material by the time the first batch is done that they can immediately go to a second cour. So,
right. Well, mangas and anime are topics we always like to talk about here on the XAR podcast. But as you all know, another topic we like to talk about is sports. And the latest story here, aside from the Jets losing, at least at the start of the show, yes, the Tommy DeVito 15 seconds of fame might finally be over for the Giants.
The New York Giants. I mean, it's like both teams in New Jersey, and I'm going to keep saying it because it is New Jersey. Both teams in New Jersey are cursed, okay? I mean, they're cursed in weird ways, but they're both cursed. Meanwhile, the only football team in New York State proper is close to a playoff spot, but not clinched it yet. So I cannot unclench, so to speak.
Are you you want to buy this week?
No. We're facing Darth Hoodie and his merry band of losers.
Oh, okay.
Now, if we win against Darth Hoodie and his merry band of losers, which is quite possible, but you never know, that puts us pretty much into the playoffs, but for a complete disaster. It would take about 7 different events to go totally wrong in the last week of the season, including us losing to the Fish. Every time I say that, I just want to barf. But anyways, so I'm hopeful that A, Buffalo wins this weekend, B, Miami loses, because that would put the AFC East up for grabs in Week 18, which might get that game flexed into the final game of the season. And, winning the division after having, so many times, stubbed your toe or dropped an anvil on your foot would be absolutely hilarious to me, but we shall see. I'll take the playoffs. I'm not that greedy, right?
Right.
But if we could get a home date for our first round, I'll take that.
Right. That's the time of the year. Football's winding down. The bowl games have been happening. I don't know the result, but we just had the bowl game at Yankee Stadium. That's actually kind of on my bucket list for the future, I think. It might be easier for me to attend that game instead of maybe a regular NFL game.
Well, it'll be cheaper in theory.
Yeah.
Oh, and while we're talking about sports, the World Junior Championship is on right now. Now, it's not as big in the States, although it's getting better. But in Canada, it's one of those traditions. We start on Boxing Day and it runs till just about after New Year's. Canada's 2-0. United States is 2-0, including a drubbing of Switzerland. I mean, we're talking 11-3.
Oh boy.
Like every time the Swiss started to have a pulse, the U.S. went, "Oh yeah," click, bang. Kept hearing the U.S. goal song, which for some reason is, not only is there a goal song, but they play a snippet of the national anthem, and I'm going, "That's
What?
new." Yes, they play their choice of song, which I cannot remember what it is, even though I heard it 11 times today. But it's like that, and then a snippet of the anthem. And
Well, they stop celebrating and then just freeze in place, put the hand over their heart? Is that how they do it?
Well, I didn't realize it until I also listened again to the Canadian broadcast, which was rebroadcast, and I'm like, they're doing the same thing. The Canadian team scores, and then there's a brief pause, about 3 or 4 seconds of the Canadian anthem. Then they stop and play goes on. And I'm just going, what?
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, Canada, the remix.
Yeah, no. I'm trying to remember. You know what? Funny thing is, you hear the song enough that it gets past the point of I know what it is. It gets to the point of I don't want to hear it again. Even though it means good news. So I can't remember what the songs actually are.
Or Schweizer Psalm der Remix or whatever.
Well, at least the Germans aren't using Kommsisser Toad.
Oh.
Although for the Finns, that would have been appropriate because they actually managed to beat the Finns for the first time in 26 separate meetings.
Wow.
In the World Juniors.
Nice.
It took 26 times before they finally said to the Finns, "You're finished."
Hockey is the most popular sport in Canada, and everybody follows it religiously up there. And it is also, in a sense, we've talked about it before, a gentleman's game. Because you get some people together, some teams, and then, they'll largely be respectful. After the game, shake hands and, invite you out. You even told us the story about a referee who accidentally cross-checked a player somewhere not too long ago, I think, and then after the game, he was like apologizing and invited him out for a beer.
Well, I was going to say respectful. You haven't seen some of the stuff coming out of the NHL Department of Player Safety, have you? Oof.
Uh-oh.
Because it's like some of the stuff, it's just like, you're insane. My least favorite is the hits from behind, because I'm going, wait a minute. You're barreling towards a player who has his back towards you. There is a wall, basically the rink and the glass, and you're still going, like Thomas the Tank Engine. Oh, don't do that. Oh.
More like Gordon in that case.
Well, all I can say is, you see these players and they just sort of, get crumpled and lay there and like, ooh, just no. But then again, you also have the good side of it, where you have players who have what I could like to call a wicked sense of humor. Wicked sense of humor. Marc-Andre Fleury, who plays for the Minnesota Wild, he's a known prankster. Oh. Now, one of his teammates, during an interview, where the announcer had said, "Well, isn't it amazing to see a 39-year-old goalie, doing as well as he is?" The teammate turns around and says, "Oh, you mean the 50-year-old goalie?" Now, this got back to Marc-Andre Fleury. And the next thing this poor schlub knew, he went back after the next game, to go back to his locker to change into his regular clothes. His regular clothes were gone. And what was left for him was a suit that was straight out of 1974.
Oh boy!
I mean, it looked like a couch from the 70s. It was just wow. And Mark Eifler did it to him again after this, because the next game, when they're trying to practice, instead of his goalie stick, all Marc-Andre Fleury could find was a cane in his locker. And he actually practiced with the cane.
Wow.
There's video of this on Reddit. And I'm just going, whoa, okay. Now, and then in retaliation again, this time he didn't get rid of the entire suit. No. He was much more subtle. He got rid of his shoes and replaced them with furry white boots. And this poor guy has to walk through the arena wearing a suit with furry white boots. It's like, don't go up against Marc-Andre Fleury in a prank war. You're going to lose.
Somebody in the chat said, cane, candy cane, like the Christmas Kringle candy cane corner.
No, but it was a red cane. I do recall that from the video. It was like, blink, blink. And he's actually stopping pucks with the thing too, which was, I thought, amazing.
I croaked when I said Christmas Kringle candy cane corner. There, that's a lot better. But no, talking about sportsmanship in Canadian hockey, there was some news that I read just at a glance this past week about, maybe you can clear it up for me, Nev. There's a league in, how do we say this in French? Nouveau Brunswick?
Yes.
That apparently has ended the practice of handshaking after the game because people keep misbehaving.
Wouldn't surprise me, because I have seen some lineups after championship games in the NHL where it's like,
yeah,
I think it's about this close to somebody saying, forget this, and taking a poke at someone. So, yeah, I could see that being, it's like when the Quebec Ranger Junior League banned fighting, and I'm going, okay, let's see how long this lasts, because I know why they did it. I agree that, pounding each other in the skull is not a great idea.
Right.
But I'm also cognizant of the fact that if they know they won't get beaten on if they do something stupid, they do something stupid.
Right.
Where you have the trips, where you have the slew footing, where you have the cross-checking from behind, and the problem is the league won't actually clamp down on that stuff, because if they clamp down on everything that was being done wrong during a hockey game, 2.5 hours would not be long enough for a hockey game. You'd be closer to 4.
All right.
And there'd be like 2 players left on the ice, the goaltenders.
All right. I want to stand corrected here because I just pulled up the article. Not in Nouveau Brunswick, but instead in, please remind me where this is again, Newfoundland and Labrador.
Newfoundland and Labrador, Eastern Canada, also known as, the former British protectorates that Canada subsumed in 1949. And they're nice people. I just have trouble understanding them.
Yeah. All right. So this is the Associated Press. The hockey governing body in the Canadian province of Newfoundland and Labrador has banned post-game handshakes in the minor leagues after a string of altercations. Hockey Newfoundland and Labrador, or Hockey NL, announced the organization had, quote, issues following games that led to suspensions of both players and coaches. Instead of handshakes, officials will now direct teams off the ice after the center game, or after the game. The visiting squad will instead skate by the home team's bench now for a glove tap or handshake before games. Word of the move surprised players and staff at the World Junior Hockey Championships in Sweden. Canada head coach Alan Letang called it disappointing. There's a respect and camaraderie in sports. You can go out and compete hard against someone, but at the end of the game, it's great game, great job. Respect goes both ways. If I was coaching a team and stuff like that happened, you wouldn't put up with it.
Well, he certainly said the right things, but I'm curious to know what level of chicanery was going on for them to finally make that kind of pronouncement. I'm going,
Yeah.
there must have been some seriously bad things going on during those end of those matches to have that happen.
Yeah. So let's see. Move by Hockey NL. Authorities in Nova Scotia last month charged a coach with allegedly assaulting a referee during a game involving players as young as 9. Amateur hockey associations across Canada have started a green armband campaign to put on teenage referees in the hopes parents and coaches think twice before hurling verbal abuse. And there's also a reference here about what happened in the 2020 juniors with Barrett Hayden. You remember what happened to Barrett Hayden in 2020?
Oh, I'm trying to remember. That's so long ago. But you mentioned something in your recitation of that article that worries me. The coach assaulted the referee during the game. Like, they don't explain what the assault was, right? I'm hoping it was only verbal. Because I'm going, if the coach is insane enough to jump out on the ice and start trying to throw haymakers at the ref or grabbing the ref as he's skating by, that coach should not be a coach.
Yeah.
That coach needs anger management classes.
Right.
And this is from a guy who watched many coaches growing up, including one of them, Bruce Boudreau, who's over in Davos, Switzerland right now for Team Canada. And he is well known for his tirades that are basically, enough to peel paint off walls.
So what happened to Barrett Hayden was apparently at the 2020 juniors, there was a game where Canada was blown out by Russia. Mm-hmm. And I guess after every juniors game, the winning team gets to hear the anthem, right? So he forgot, he failed to take off his helmet. And that resulted in like a handshake argument.
I know they're kids, but yikes. First of all, okay. Yeah, okay, fine. Don't take off your helmet. Fine. But I'm going, why did that result in a fight? Unless you were looking for a fight. Because, no. But, I've at this point in my life, it's just like, you want to be stupid? Fine. Not my circus, not my monkeys. You do that. Just don't expect me to sit there and smile at you when you do it.
Oh boy. So yeah, another year comes to a close for us, Neff. What are you looking forward to in the new year?
It's a leap year, so we get an extra day, which is going to cause me all sorts of merry havoc in my real life job. And why is that? Because they had to make a special rule for one of the areas of work that I do to account for the leap year and that extra day. And every time a leap year happens, and it's happened, a number of times now since I've started that job, it's just been like, oh God, why doesn't the leap year just go away? Ick.
We have a comment that says, I had felt like this entire year had been dragging on, and someone reminded me this year was a leap year. That is the real Hoshinaka, or the real Hoshinka, I should say. But you remember the real Hoshinka from our days of Extreme Anime Radio, Neff?
That name does ring a bell.
Shiro Amada. Shiro with a dash.
Ah, okay. Now that's starting to ring some bells.
We had Shiro with a dash and Shiro minus the dash. Or did I say minus a dash or without a dash? It's been so long. But Shiro with a dash, it's good to see you again. Thank you so much for tuning in. Long-time listener, I know, of XAR. And, yeah, we get people from time to time come in and say how much they missed the station. Yeah, money,
Well, okay, speaking of the station really quick, apparently SiriusXM is trying to now explain, quote unquote, their changes they made to their streaming app. And everybody's going, no, you just didn't beta test this with real people. And, now you're trying to cover up for this. And it's just like, No. I mean, when one of their key failures, and this is so stupid, it's like you have a list of favorite stations. In the old app, you could move them around, which I did because during various sports seasons, you wanted certain, stations higher up the queue than others. For example, when it's baseball season, you have the local team up, or when it's hockey season, you have the local team up. But you can't do that with the new app. And when we ask for it, they go, nobody uses that.
I had to fight with SiriusXM about listening to specific stations, right? Well, let's see here. What did Liz say? I wanted to get married on leap day, but can't due to needing my current insurance, which I lose part of when we do. Oh.
Yes, American Health Insurance, also known as insurance? What's that?
And Cheryl with a dash has followed us now. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. We do have an alert pop up on the screen, but during podcasts, there are no audio alerts because we don't want those bells and whistles to go onto the audio podcast. If we're streaming a game, on the other hand, then we'll hear the audio alerts on the stream. So just a little food for thought there. I will tell you this quickly, Neff, before we start to wrap things up for the year. SiriusXM is in a lawsuit now with the New York State Attorney General.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. And the best part was when we were told about this, here's what they said. We were never told that we were being sued. And here's our comments on it. And I'm going, no, you were served. That's how you know there was a lawsuit. No. But you know what? I honestly think that the powers that be at SiriusXM are on that river in Egypt, denial, and are desperately trying to remain relevant, because here's the problem they're facing. There are a lot more streaming choices available. A lot more people have enough data on their phones to go, you know what? I'd rather use this instead.
Right.
And the coverage is, I mean, they boast that their satellite coverage, is better than cell phone coverage. Yes and no, because I can go to work and I can stream SiriusXM on my phone, no problem. If I had SiriusXM in my car, the minute I go into the underground at work, no more SiriusXM.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's kind of I really haven't gotten to that point yet, but I may start in the future trying to stream some other stuff off of my phone now that my phone has unlimited data on it. So
we see part of what you're going to have is your car does not have CarPlay or Android Auto.
Right.
And you see that makes things a little messier. Like that's one of the things that, CarPlay is much better at. And in fact, the only good thing I found about the new SiriusXM app is that finally Hey Siri works properly.
Ah.
So I can go, Hey Siri, stream X station from SiriusXM, bang.
Well, I have some big things to look forward to in the next few weeks. I know the next few months at work are going to be a little busy with some new equipment coming in. And the most fun part is that, I have to start calling for jury duty in a few weeks.
Oh, fun and rapture.
Yeah.
Well, because of my real life job, they don't want me on a jury. Apparently, I'm, too legally trained.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. So, I'll have to, maybe I'll get some advice from you later. I don't know. But
how to avoid jury duty, yeah.
But no, I want to again thank everybody for tuning in to the podcast and all the podcasts as we wrap up season number 8. This will be the last stream of 2023. 2024, maybe we'll follow Liz's lead and we'll kill a princess or something. I got to look up that game again.
Oh, dear. Starting off 2024 with a bang.
Yeah, right. And then other things that I want to try, the most important thing is time. I need to find time to try to do this, and also equipment and resources like we've learned the hard way with Flight Simulator. Mischievous Duck is also interested in possibly coming on in the future to do another podcast with me. So we will talk about that as 2024 progresses. But again, I want to appreciate everybody's patronage and support of what we do. Certainly something that we all enjoy doing when we can escape like this on these nights on Twitch or on YouTube. With that, for the last time in 2023, the closing commentary.
If you have any questions, concerns, compliments, or complaints, reach out to us. Here's how you do that. You can reach out to us via email at extremeanimeradio@gmail.com. Hit us up on social media. You can go to linktree.com/animeradio, and there you'll find links to our Facebook page, our X account, our Instagram account, our Twitch streams, our YouTube channel, and archived versions of this podcast are available at anchor.fm/animeradio, your favorite podcasting platform.
So, yes, the most important location I would think would be the Discord. And you can get to the Discord again through our Linktree, linktree.com/anime-radio. And that's where we'll let you know when we're going to schedule streams for the new year. And probably after 2024 has started, we'll come up with a plan of what we're going to do. I do work on New Year's Day, so I don't know if we're going to be doing a stream that day, but if we do streams like the rest of the week, we'll certainly keep in touch and let you guys know what's going on. But Neff, I wish you and everybody in the chat a happy new year. I hope that, what you described earlier, let's hope that 2024 is a lot better for you than 2023 was.
Yes, indeed. And before we go, a quick plug, because I want this to succeed. The Professional Women's Hockey League will also start on New Year's Day.
Oh, okay.
So if you have access to it, watch it, because this is how we grow the game, because we want everybody to be able to play hockey at a professional level and make a living at doing it.
Good luck to the women who are going to be participating in the new hockey league starting in the new year. What network is that? There's ESPN, Fox up here. Do you know?
I think it's going to be, I don't know, because I didn't hear about a U.S. deal. I heard about the Canadian deal. But if I'm going to guess, I would say probably ESPN. And I say that only because it sounds like something that they would be a bit interested in, as opposed to, for example, FS1 or 2.
No, nothing about broadcasts yet. No.
Okay, hold on. PWHL, US TV. Let's see what it says. Boink. Okay, how to watch the... Oh, there it is. Let's see. Per Rolling Stone magazine, you can watch by doing this. Through the CBC, looks like, is the only way. So you would have to use a VPN and fake like you're in Canada.
Great.
Or you can come to my house.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so good luck to them, and good luck to everybody in 2024. This is the end of Season 8. This is the end of the year. We wish you a happy new year and glad tidings, hoping that you have wonderful things happen for you in 2024. For now, I'm JR. Thank you so much for tuning in to the last podcast of 2023. And until we see you in 2024, remember,
keep on looking up for the Extreme Mario podcast, and don't forget, archived versions of these podcasts are available at anchor.fm/anime-radio or your favorite podcasting platform. Good night, and we'll see you next year.
Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for watching and listening.